Nekumara. My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, aspiring storyteller, artist amateur, and savant of the unsavory. I've always loved seeing people express themselves in new and varied ways, and to be honest, I kind of like to experiment with things here or there. Thus, sometime after the Sonic and Amateur Games Expo of 2019, and before the probably inevitable, really amateur games expo of the same year starts, I figured, hey, let's give something new a try. Mind you, I don't expect to be good at this, so if anyone's got some critiques, I'd be more than willing to listen and adapt myself. Provided it's constructive. Seriously, the last thing anyone needs is a bunch of PMs and emails saying KYS. Unless you mean, like, kick your salad, such. I wouldn't want to waste that much vegetable anyway. There are better things to introduce to limbs than Table 5 Caesar. Though, that would be a hilarious interpretation of Roman history. Et tu, Brute, then curb stomp Caesar! I'm getting off topic. I'm supposed to be talking about the game in this really dramatic opening cutscene, even though it's so cheesy. Not my choice in appetizers. I could break off into mile-long diatribes later when they become contextually relevant. For now, though...
They will pay! They will pay!
Sure, they will pay for the meal. Because, you know, you just introduced your foot into freaking Caesar. No. This is the wrong type of Havoc for ornery Xenophiles. Wait, I think I messed up that intro. Could we take it again? No?
Let's go! My head. My vision's coming back. Where am I? I can't remember anything. Gah! What was that? Looks like it came from the ocean over there. Is someone in trouble? If I can't remember who I am or why I'm here...
Jeez, it's not even 3 minutes into the episode I'm messing up. I gotta do better than this. I mean, I haven't even given the title of the game yet. I need some kind of way to introduce the title proper. Not beat around the bushy-tailed amnesiac gray fox with a beam sword. Or sword. Hard light. What even is this weapon anyway? The layman would say highly effective and leave it at that, but I'm not layman so much as lay trash. But I will admit, the saber is a pretty reliable weapon, what with how outright spammy it is. Mr. Purple here can agree with me on that, I'm sure. You may notice a few things right off the bat as we wake up in Moonlight Cove here, the first of which being the obvious inspirations of the game's sights. Gray's main attack feels a lot like another amnesiac sword wielder, sometime after the events of the Maverick Wars. And the shield capsule that I just picked up here, it kind of feels like it was brought in from Avvie and processed a little bit. It could just be me though. These aren't the only nods to Megaman Zero and Freedom Plan we'll see, I assure you. Though we do see that our carved swordsman here is a bit more keen to streams than most internet savvies. The waterfalls here can be ascended through liberal use of the jump button, and give a feel for just how clammy the cove can be. And speaking of damp, these slimes are so adorable. Too bad the saber doesn't quite touch their wibbly little goo ears. Kind of bugs me when games have crouching melee attack and also enemies too small to hit with it. It kind of puts into question why the attack doesn't sweep to the ground naturally. Of course, it comes as a shock that the right to hit these things with the sword was actually waived to the projectile attack instead. Pretty cool to note that the developer put little places here or there to catch you and steer you in the right direction, should you flop a jump or here or there. The health pickups are a nice distraction from the shame of your failures, which... And if anything, encourage a bit of exploration to help you route the level a little better the next time around. The double jump also encourages a bit more recklessness than I'd typically show, since it acts as a secondary attack, kinda like Vector Man's jet shoes. It even shears most bosses like that tame. Of course, even with the aid of the double jump, you'll still have the ability to attack upward should you need it, and trust me when I say, you're gonna need it. This is a nice touch. The music gets dampened whenever you go into the water. It's really nice attention to detail seeing things like this. So much so, in fact, that the music almost feels like a different track altogether when it happens. Take a listen. Had enough yet? Don't worry, you can hear more of it if you play the game yourself. Though make sure to look at the guide in the pause menu. Me being the tool I am, I completely glossed over that on my first run through, and I didn't really notice the option until a certain in-game voice actor's live stream one afternoon. It tells you a lot of certain facets about the game, like shield effects, and hints at the fact that you could shoot your projectile attack upward, with each third shot in any direction being a bit more powerful than the others. Of course, if you're watching this, you might just be able to decipher the text in the lower left and ditch that plan, that's perfectly fine. You know, these metal blockades kinda puzzled not just me, but other streamers as well. They clearly block something, but try as I might, I just can't get past them. Maybe in the future something will be there. Who knows? Well, it's a really good design choice to know that hazards that are indestructible emit little blinking noise when you hit them, just to let you know that your choice in targets is more than a bit questionable. Unlike this jumping puzzle here. See, only the first platform out of a lot of these can actually be jumped on normally, so in order to get the switch at the end, you're gonna need to get to the hang of the physics a little bit. It's not exactly that hard considering prior challenges, but honestly, the switch doesn't look like a typical switch to me. Maybe it's just the games I've been playing lately, but I can't figure out whether it's a switch or not. Maybe it's a thermic sensor of some sort, a pressure plate. Technology's weird, man. I can't grasp all these fancy AF computrons and smirk goggles. Here's a little something that you might want to remember for the future, in case platforming turns to pratforming. This game is being made in Click Team 2, which has a little quirk in its physics, where, a la Donkey Kong Country, you can initiate a primary jump after leaving a platform, be it voluntary or no, and still be able to double jump afterward. Alternatively, you could just rebind your controls. Proper controller inputs are on the to-do list that I've seen from the deb. They're just not in the latest build as of Amateur Games Expo 2019. Me, I prefer to centralize the buttons around one hand apiece, just to make it easier on my fingers. But you're welcome to set up however you like through the options, even if you decide to stay with the basic setup. Which works fine, honestly, but sometimes I prefer a transition to a different format, so to speak. You know, that's a really nice transition, speaking of which. The sky just gets a little lighter as the Moonlit Cove slowly turns to Dawnlit Cove. I wonder how long our little companions have been traveling. Feels a bit unsteady on my feet. Where's that shaking? Oh, cripes! Time to shake off the pre-boss jitters. Okay, I'm good now. Introducing Signe, clearly a robotic android mimicking a swan, complete with deadly lasers, graceful plumage, an elegant clarai, and majestic flight. Too bad we'll have to clip its wings a bit using these crystals. Slash them with your thumb blade until they line up just beneath and let its lasers punch through its armor. You wouldn't be able to harm it anyway. I've tried. It didn't end well. You can, however, slightly accelerate the process by pushing both crystals into position, but you only really need the one, so don't go singeing what's probably not tasty anyway. I've never had Havoc Fox before. More importantly, this four-phase fight can be a bit of a handful when transitioning from phase to phase, except for transitioning into this one here. Signe's got a lot of attacks that can't exactly be ducked so easily without quackerjack reflexes or the ability to peek into the future. On the bright side, though, if you're having a peck of trouble, your projectile attack could be used to safely chip at the second and third phases, provided, of course, you can dodge the laser spam. Really? I can't hit you right now? That's just plain foul! I hate it when bosses just up and leave the plume for some free shots. It's not fox season, okay? It's swan season. You're probably sick of this ton of feathers, aren't you? I'm sorry if anything's led you to believe I have something amusing to say, but this boss fight's mostly just a test of pattern recognition. I can't exactly wing it with the whole being funny thing. Okay, I really need to stop before my goose gets cooked. But this is a nice attack. Signet can track your Y position and streak across the field a few times before soaring up for a rain of shots, like plumage from bird flight. Sadly, that's kind of all it has at this point after we ruptured its water protection, its shield generator, or that, and the main armor before that. Just make sure to keep on your toes, jump accordingly, shred it with your double jump just off of center so you don't get hit by the volley, and with enough patience, luck, and power, you'll be slowly and surely fist-pumping victory, complete with cries of Sig Yay. Sig Yay. That was the best I could come up with. What a temp mess. I need a tutorial on how to make better puns. Maybe I should ask Gemini Laser for some tips? He knows his stuff. Oh, what? This isn't my Intro to Funny Business 101 course. What, did I get cancelled? Is it down the hall and to the right of this matrix pattern void? I may as well stay. Talk about one of my bigger gripes with the demo. Freedom Planet 1 kinda had this issue too, but a good lot of the voice work is almost inaudible over the bumpin' soundtrack. Even when I have the music disabled, it's still a bit on the quiet side, and I end up having several moments where I skip over text by accident, without realizing someone is speaking. In actuality, I just can't hear them. The voice acting's pretty good too, for the most part. Sadly, unless I feel up to playing the demo another 3 times, which I probably would in a row, it'd be hard to line up the voice recordings I extracted with well-timed footage. I tried, but maybe I'll try again in the future if this whole shingle goes well. I do get, though, that this is a first adventure for the dev, and you're fine to err here or there, but I can't just let an error like this fly. Like that, you know? Kudos to the dev, by the way, for having this idea. Certain bosses will apparently yield special weapons for you to gimmick with during regular play. I could see this in the future having some really cool applications outside of just getting rid of enemies faster. Though, with the mention of special weapons, I guess I have to bring up our foxy friend here as a passive ability of his own that charges over time. When triggered, it gains him some invincibility, adds some sword beams to a melee attack, turns your projectile attack into a 3-way spread of pain for a short time, and generally is awesome. That's literally not his species, Cascade, but it'll do.